All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say the water Yahweh, the water Yahweh Shah, the water Yahweh, the water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakakudash, and Barakatah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakakudash. All praises, call Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakakudash. All praises, glory, and honor due to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Rakakudash. Double honors to my apostles, okay, the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit of Yahweh. Okay, well, Yahweh Shah, okay, and shalom to the hopeful elect out there. And double salutations to you men that's pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth that we scattered, man. All right? Don't mean to make the intro too long, we got been admonished about that. Get straight into them scriptures, okay? But it's all about that hopeful elect. Ultimately, that's going to what? Overcome. Okay, let's get that in the book of Revelation. Is it the 12th chapter? Okay. And I was going to go into the notes, but ultimately everything is going to being spiritual. I might want to read something. I might read something from my notes, and then another scripture pops into my head, and it leads into, me going to something else. Some of us be all over the place. Sometimes we need to, stick to a subject, and have particular scriptures right on that subject, the precepts on that subject, you know. Sometimes we be all over the place, but Lord willing, Aparat Desire is edifying to the hopeful elect. All right. Revelations chapter 12. Let's start with verse 11, right? Revelation 12 and 11 says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. Yeah, that Lamb is Yahweh Shah, who ultimately was crucified and laid down his life, okay, for the elect, man, elect of the nation of Israel, okay, because 2/3 of our people are following after the ways of the heathen today, okay, going in all types of idolatry, okay, adultery was heavily pushed here in America, okay, um, you know, um, all types of witchcraft, confusion, okay, and everything that's adverse to the laws, statutes, commandments, and the Heavenly Father, man. Long story short, all right, and it says, and they overcame him by the blood of Yahweh Shah, of the Lamb, Salakia, and by the word of their testimony, right? And ultimately, we coming down to that point, okay? We're testifying now, okay? The scriptures say, we believe, therefore we speak, okay? But it's gonna come a time where, Esau's coming down with, great wrath, man. So we're gonna get arrested. Some of us might get portrayed by our own children, parents, loved ones, so to speak. Okay, women might give you up. Okay, just anything goes in. The 10th chapter goes into it. Okay, we in those times when Esau is gonna make this RFID technology, the C-HIP, the chip, mandatory, and anybody who's speaking against the New World Order is gonna be brought in front of councils, in front of these kings and governors, okay, and charged with being treason, man, an enemy of the state, okay. These are the times we living in, so that's why brothers, we gotta stick in there with that faith, continue to throw them prayers up that we ultimately Abaratazah endure all the way to the end. And they overcame him, right? The hopeful elect, him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, right? Talking about a man, going back to the to testify, you gotta have testicles. Talking about the men, man. He deal with the women through men. Ultimately, some women might get caught up too, okay? And it says they love not their lives unto the death, man, and that's right, okay. We the mindset is to reject, is rejecting this world, going against the grain of this world, as the world, okay, goes against the grain of the truth, the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and the doctrine, the true doctrine thereof, man. Okay? But we know the souls of the righteous are in the hands of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. There shall no torment touch. Even though, okay, you're going to have brothers that go through, he gonna make that separation about who the elect is and who's not. Okay? We praying and we gotta pray and fight for that for that election. What it call an election? Sure. Okay. And that's how the spirit works. If something comes to me, I'll just bring it up. Sometimes I may want to go straight through with the notes, to get just a specific point out. And then sometimes, it's just all through the spirit. Everything's spiritual. 2 Peter 1:10, okay? It says, wherefore, matter of fact, let's start, see if we can start above that. 1:10, so, yeah, I'll start with the point. 2 Peter 1:10. Wherefore, the rather, brethren, give diligence, okay, to make your calling and election sure, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Okay? And let's just go into this word diligence, okay, for my edification, because I forget. I don't remember all these words. We study and we go into these words, okay, as we've been taught by the elders and apostles, okay, to go into these words, but we don't remember all of them, Diligence. Okay, going to the Greek 4707. Or did I say it right? Yeah, it says Greek 4704, Salakia. Spudazo, right? It says to use speed, that is to make effort, be prompt or earnest. It says diligence, be diligent, forward, endeavor, labor, study, right? Studying what? And laboring what, man? As Paul, spoke of. Okay? This labor is ultimately going into the words, going into the history, secular history, even sometimes the books that are outside the scriptures that confirm, okay, like plenty of elders have went into, confirm and back up the scriptures. Okay, and there's plenty of books. I can't name them off the top of my head. All right, but this is work. Okay, this is work. Not to mention that we deal with the same, okay, demons and plagues, okay, that the rest of the world deals with, as the scriptures say, if thou come to serve the Lord, okay, prepare thyself for temptation. The more that we in this thing, the more Satan is gonna try to sift, man, to get you to be go back into the world, to put on that old man again, to be a 2/3 ass nigga, sift you, man, and how much more today when we at the end of this thing, where he trying to sift us, and ultimately what John 17, the Lord's elect not gonna be plucked out of his hand. He already prayed for his elect. He know who his elect are. The Lord Yahweh Shah. Okay, so the scripture say, give diligence. Let me just go back to the scripture, Salakia. I don't want to butcher it. Okay, wherefore rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Okay, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Okay. and ultimately, the hopeful elect is gonna overcome. Okay, and that's that mindset of rejecting this world, man. Okay, gonna overcome what? That ultimately what? Let's go to back to the book of Revelations. Let's go to the book of 14 and let's get the judgment. Okay. Let's start with verse 8. Revelation 14 and 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, right? It's fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Okay? Wine and going into those what? Those philosophies, madness, doctrines, idolatry, okay? Spiritual fornication. You got fornication, and you got spiritual fornication. Let's get this word fornication here in Revelation 14, okay, and 8. Porneia, porn, right? Porneia, harlotry, right? Which is we going into. This is spiritual, okay? It's okay, yeah. So it's talking about a harlotry being a whore, porneia, okay? Porneia. So this is spiritual, going into other philosophies and doctrines, and madness outside the truth and the doctrine of the true doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and the doctrine thereof, knowing the name of the Lord, the foundation, okay, what he looked like, okay, down to the truth, the prophecies, down to the truth of what Yahweh Shah came to do, okay. He was sent to preach the gospel, okay. The gospel is the good news, which was for the Israelites, okay. The kingdom, the promises, okay, the etc., the glory, okay. And it's for you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, as well as the Israelite foreigners who've been scattered amongst the heathen nations, okay. These are they who's gonna overcome. Let's go back to Revelation 14 and 8. And there follow another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So the rest of these nations have been tricked, okay, seduced and forced to a certain extent by Esau, okay, mainly here in America, you know, pushing their democracy, their republic, raping, robbing, pillaging the other nations, okay, and and feeding them, that wine, okay. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, all right, which we know the beast, okay, is representation of a government. This beast is NATO, the EU, America, okay, which is a extension of the ancient pagan Roman Empire, man, okay. And his image, what, the New World Order, okay, and receive his mark, this charagma, which we go into all the time, in his forehead or in his hand. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, okay, which goes into the mark, which is the charagma, the RFID chip, which is ultimately, when it talks about the number, is the number of a man, 603 score and 6, which is 666, goes into a UPC code, okay, which, every day we see growing up, you know, They scan this where they can track, locate, and basically, you know, tell you each item, when it was made, when it was bought, when it was sold, you know, all of that. They want to number you, basically. Okay? That's why we have to prove that we're slaves, Apostle Gabar, Apostle to all the apostles and elders always go into this. What proves that we're slaves? Birth certificates, social security numbers, okay? And now they ultimately want to brand us, okay, and make us perpetual slaves like cattle, like what they do with cattle, okay? This is truly the devil that the Bible speaks of, Esau, Edom, okay, the so-called white men, okay? It says the same shall drink of the wine, okay, of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Yeah, prepare for ultimately, your fuel to the fire, man, of those nuclear missiles and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay? And the smoke of their atonement ascendeth up forever and ever. They have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name, which is going into you Israelites, because the Lord don't give a damn about the rest of the nations. Okay? Alright? So let's grab that. Let's go from there. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Get straight to the point, right? Psalms 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, right? Which is the progenitor of the nation of Israel, who ultimately got his name changed to Israel, right? He showeth his word unto Jacob, who had 12 sons, his statutes, his judgments unto Israel, and we're the descendants, you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians of them. He have not dealt so with any nation. The Lord ain't dealing with the rest of these nations, all right? And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, man. Okay? This is the time that we're in, okay? The time that Yahweh, they're gonna make their move, and Yahweh is going to help his elect, okay? Because he's the power of our salvation, okay? And he's gonna deliver us, man. He's gonna deliver us, okay? So keeping it short, the hopeful elect are gonna overcome. Giving all praises, glory, honor due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Again, double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Till next time, Shalom.